Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Katie Snow, and today we are making a restaurant appetizer favorite, stuffed mushrooms. Everyone loves stuffed mushrooms, but so many times we leave the restaurant with a tummy ache because we're eating a lot of inflammatory foods in these stuffed mushrooms. There's breadcrumbs and poor oils and a lot of cheese, probably too much cheese. So today we have a treat by making a healthier version of these stuffed mushrooms. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll start by explaining the ingredients and what we're going to be putting in our stuffed mushrooms. So what's going to make it creamy, we do have a little bit of cheese, but the main creaminess is going to come from pine nuts. And so we have organic pine nuts that I found at Costco. And there's a cup of those, and then this is a olive mixture. So it's a bunch of olives, has a little bit of carrots, but everything else it's olives, and it's chipped up. And I did find this at the grocery store. You can chop up olives yourself, but it's 2 cups of olive mixture. And so the only thing in the ingredients in this mixture that I found at Kroger's was the chipped up olives, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and a little bit of carrots. So I just grabbed that to make this recipe even easier. Then we're going to use a very small yellow onion. And then we have 6 cloves of garlic. I love garlic. You can do more, you can do less. And then we're going to use a variety of herbs in this recipe, but this is strictly preference. So I do have an herb garden outside, and so I just snipped about a cup total of herbs, but it's a mixture. If you would love to learn how to make an easy herb garden, check out our video that we made on an easy raised bed garden. It's super simple. All the products that you need to buy are in the video. Very simple, but you always have the herbs that you need because herbs are so delicate. You buy them at the grocery store and within a week they're wilted. And so being able to have ones that you can snip and run inside your house and have fresh for putting in your foods, it's really nice. So check out that video. But I'm going to use a blend of parsley, chives, dill, and rosemary. So I just have a little bit of each one, but about a cup total. And then over here we have stone ground mustard. It's organic. And then our pink sea salt. Make sure that your sea salt is pink or gray. Remember, Himalayan pink or Celtic gray, and that makes sure that you have minerals in your sea salt. And then we're going to use organic cayenne powder and our Turmeric Power, which is a blend of turmeric and ginger. It's organic and fermented, and so I'm trying to put this in as much recipes as I can right now. Great health benefits with turmeric. Amazing health benefits. It's anti-inflammatory. It's great for digestion. And so I'm trying to put in as many recipes as I can, and I'm having fun with it. And then this is an optional thing. For you guys that can't do dairy, just omit this out of the recipe, but it does give that flavor, and just a little bit we're going to use in the recipe just to give it that flavor. And then we're going to save a little bit for the top. We're just going to put that on the top where it kind of resembles the breadcrumbs, but remember, no breadcrumbs in this recipe. So that's all the recipe ingredients. Again, it's an easy recipe. We'll go ahead and get started. All you'll need is a food processor, spatula and knife, and then you'll have a baking pan. So you'll go ahead and remove the stems from your mushrooms and go ahead and wash them. So they'll just look like this, and you can toss the stems away. Some people take the stems and they put them in the recipe. It just makes them a lot watery if you do that, and so you can use them in another recipe, or you can just discard them. But those are prepped and ready to go. And so in the food processor, we are going to add our olive mixture. There's 2 cups of the olive mixture. There's a little bit of olive oil that came in the recipe, or in the container that I picked up. And then we have 1 cup of organic pine nuts. Make sure we get all the pine nuts. Those are delicious. Okay, and then we have our pre-peeled garlic cloves. I'm using 6. Again, you can use more or less of these. And then we're gonna just chop this into about 6 pieces just so it blends easier instead of throwing the whole thing in. So it's a small yellow onion. About 6 pieces should be good, small enough. And then we'll use some scissors to cut the herbs a little bit at a time, but these just fresh out of the yard, stems and all. I say use the stems when you can. Sometimes they're a little hard, chunky if you're going to put them in a salad, but most of the time I use the stems. Okay, and then we're going to use, this is about 3/4 of a cup of Parmesan. You can use a little bit more if you want to, but I'm using as least amount of dairy as I can. I'm trying to get this recipe where it tastes wonderful, has great health benefits, and it's not highly inflammatory. So again, this is extra. You can omit this. Just a little bit to give it a little bit of flavor, but about half of the 3/4 cup of cheese. And then the stone ground mustard, it's 1/4 of a cup. You can eyeball it or at the end of my bottle. And I like the flavor of stone ground mustard, so a lot of different recipes that you can use this in. Put that on my shopping list. All right. So 1/4 cup of stone ground mustard. If you don't have stone ground mustard, you can use Dijon mustard. Very similar mustard. And then we're going to use sea salt, a teaspoon of sea salt. And again, that's to taste, so if you'd like a little bit more, totally can do a little bit more. And then cayenne, depends on how spicy you want them. I'm actually going to do a teaspoon of the cayenne as well, because I'm going to make these have a little spicy kick to them. And again, you can omit the cayenne pepper. You can use black pepper in the place of it. But I'm going to go for a little spicier stuffed mushroom here. So, okay. And then the turmeric power, I'm going to use 1 scoop. So again, the container comes with a scoop, but it's about a teaspoon. So if you're using another turmeric powder, it's about a teaspoon that you want to add. So that is our ingredients. So we'll put the top on and just go ahead and mix it. Blend it pretty good, puree it. And I'll just stop at one time. Make sure I push all the ingredients down. Oh, it smells so good. Smell the herbs and the spices. It smells great. Love the smell of a olive mixture. And it smells like a muffalata. Okay, and that is it. Pretty easy blend. Smells delicious. We'll save that spatula because in a minute when we get to the end, we'll have to use that to get the rest of the mixture into the mushroom caps. So we'll go ahead and slide over mushroom caps, and it's very easy. I mean, we're going to put, depending on the size of the mushroom cap, there's a variance in the size, but around a tablespoon into each one. And you just kind of pack a little bit so that they get in there. Fills the mushroom, but we don't want it overflowing, because when these heat up in the oven, you don't want to make a mess where it bubbles out and over. But about a tablespoon. If it's a smaller mushroom, you can do a little bit less and just kind of pack it a little bit. So I'm just going to do a few of these to show you guys, and then we'll do the rest in a little bit. All right, so we'll finish filling them all, and then we'll take the remaining Parmesan and just a sprinkle on top. We're not going to use very much because the rest of this is going to cover all these mushrooms. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 20 mushrooms. So if you wanted to have a count. It's a package of mushrooms that I got, but it's about 20 mushrooms in the package. Baby Bella Organic is what I purchased. I think those have the best flavor to them. And so we'll go finish stuffing all the mushrooms, put a little bit of Parmesan, and then what we're gonna do is set the oven for 350. And once we have them all filled and a little bit of Parmesan on top, we'll bake them when the oven is ready at 350 for about 20 minutes. And voila, they're done. Delicious stuffed mushrooms. Again, there's so many different options that you can do with these. You can make them more spicy, less spicy, take the cheese out, add a little bit more cheese depending on your dietary preference, or if you have any allergens or your family has any allergens. But it's a nice treat. They're healthy, don't have usually the gluten is the issue, and a lot of people do have gluten allergies, so it's nice to have an alternative to stuffed mushrooms because they are so delicious. And this has a lot of flavor with the herbs, the turmeric, and the pine nuts, so a really nice and satisfying treat. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you're enjoying watching these videos, make sure that you like this video and subscribe and share it with your family and friends. We're enjoying making these videos and sharing what we're making in our kitchen with you. Here's to transforming your health naturally. I'm Dr. Katie Snow. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.